Welcome to the third week of the Eastlake High School football broadcast. I'm David Oliphant here with Jeremy Budish, and this week we're excited to be with the defense. We've got first-year defensive coordinator Coach Hutton here with us, and we'll hear from him in just a minute. And we've got four of the key defensive players from last week's win against Gig Harbor. We've got two-way player Jack Devine, a junior who's playing on both sides of the ball on the line. Adam Barrick, who played linebacker and also some running back last week, who's a senior. Barrett Bratlin, who's a free safety, strong safety. And senior Landon Johnson, a standout lacrosse player, joined this year as a cornerback and receiver. So to all you guys, welcome to our third week of meeting with you. And Coach Hutton, congratulations. Your first home win in front of the Eastlake crowd. That was so exciting to see everybody there on Saturday night. And wow, did you put on a good defensive performance. And that was a tough Gig Harbor team running the wing. You're very familiar with it, but congratulations on your first win, Coach.
Thanks, guys. It means a lot. It was jumping there on Saturday, and what a great win.
That's awesome. Well, let's talk a little bit about the Gig Harbor game, Coach. And we're going to see some similar things this week against Tumwater, and Jeremy will talk about that. But let's focus on Gig Harbor for a minute. Going in to the game last week, coming back from the game against Williamsfield down in SoCal, they ran a spread offense, and now you're up against a heavy run team like Gig Harbor. What was the game plan?
Priority one, just stopping the run. You know that they want to run the ball all game. I believe they had 44 carries in that game on Saturday. So we knew that priority one was stopping the run. And part of that's just making sure that we're very disciplined. You have to be very disciplined against a wing T. And so we're just harping on it all week. We got to stop the run and play a physical, violent brand of football while being disciplined with our reads and our jobs.
Well, you were disciplined, and it was noticed. Jeremy and I were incredibly impressed of how disciplined the team was in limiting the big plays. There was a little bit of the bend but don't break. They moved the ball up and down the field a little bit, but nothing big. That was awesome.
And kind
of in line with that, they had some different offensive. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Yeah, I was going to say, coming off of a really, really strong victory that they had in week one, where they didn't even throw the ball once, right? I mean, that first week that they played, they had no passes even attempted. So, I mean, you knew they were going to run. They ran, but you guys, like you said, came out tough on them.
Yeah, that was the goal. We knew if we got them in a position where they're going to try to throw the ball, we were doing something really well. Anytime you can get a wing T team to start throwing the ball consistently, you've done something right.
That's awesome. Talk about a little bit, how you handled Gig Harbor's offensive threats. They had a couple of good athletes on their side of the ball. How did you prepare for that?
Just going into the week, we felt pretty good about our guys. Pretty much on any given Friday, I feel good about the guys we have wearing our colors and supporting our brand. And we just knew that if we could win up front, we were going to have a pretty good day. And we finally got our D-line back healthy, and we felt like if we could have a pretty solid rotation of those four up front, like that's a really good unit. And so if we can get those guys playing with confidence on a good rotation, I like us against a lot of teams. So
I agree. It was great. You had Fang back, you had Painter back, and you could just tell there was more fresh legs, especially late in the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's great. Coach, one of the big things this year has been some of the juniors that are stepping up. We've got Jack Devine here, who's a junior, but played last year as a sophomore. But some of the guys, Wheeler, Bratlin, Ort, Hannah, these guys were all basically playing JV football last year, and now they're stepping up on the big stage. How have you helped these guys prepare for their first taste of varsity football?
I really think it's just about building their confidence and allowing them to play fast. One of the number one things, like when we play the wing T, is our job is not easy, but it's simple. And so if you can kind of dumb it down and simplify it for them and let them know that they only have to do a few things, that they're going to be able to play fast. And when they play fast, I think we put them in positions to be successful. And now they're building confidence. And so if they can build confidence in their junior year, going into their senior year is going to be an issue for a lot of teams. And so those guys have done a really good job of being coachable, and you can ask them. I coach them hard, and I think just letting them play fast and be in positions to be successful has been key for those guys.
In a chaser to that, there's a couple first-year seniors. Landon's one of those, and Adam's stepping up big in a linebacker play. Of course, missed Kobe Johnson here last week. But any comments on the first-year seniors getting a lot of action out there?
Well, anytime you have a D1 lacrosse commit that's going to go play for a national championship winning program, his athleticism speaks for itself. He's really easy to coach, and he wants to be coaching. So it's great having Landon out there shutting down one side, and AB is just a physical linebacker. He is a very downhill, violent tackler, and he's not afraid to get in there with the big boys and play between the tackles and the box. And so anytime you have a linebacker that's willing to flow downhill and be violent, it makes my job really easy. I just got to make sure to put him in the right spots. And so
I love it.
Great.
I love it. Downhill violence.
That's the brand. We try relentless effort and violence. We're working on it every day.
What other defensive players stood out to you in the game, Coach?
It's definitely a cliche, and maybe I'm just covering my tail so I don't leave anybody out. But I really feel like everybody played well. Like I would say 11 guys played their hearts out and played very, 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 very well. But we had guys come in that played out of position. We had linebackers playing D end, and we had guys playing some box roles that they don't usually play. And I truly believe that everybody stepped up and played a really good game. Barrett had a monster game. I think I had him post game. We always do we give all these kids edge stickers. Edge stands for everyday great effort. We give them an edge sticker if they have plays that pop off on tape. And I think I could have given Barrett like 12, and I feel like it was just, hey, Barrett Bratlin, like always just getting a sticker. He had a monster game. All the guys on the D line had a really good day, just doing their job and playing very unselfish brand of football. And anytime you get that from those big boys up front, you're going to have a good day. Like that's where the game is won up front. And so if you can win the line of scrimmage, and which we did, is you saw the result of it. Linebackers, once again, playing downhill, reading their keys and doing their job. Secondary was really disciplined and sniffing out passes. The wing T will lull you to sleep. They'll run it and run it and run it and run it, and then they'll give you hard play action and throw the ball. So truly, like all 11 guys on defense just played really well.
That's awesome. You mentioned the whole team, but how would you evaluate the defense's performance in the game? What was your grade for the team?
I was super stoked. Like I said, we played really well. At the end of the week or at the end of the game, I always think of like, what did we do well and what can we improve on? I'm never going to be complacent we could hold a team to 0 points, and I'm going to find reasons that or areas that we came up short and try to build on those. And so it feels like there's a little bit of an asterisk next to some of those touchdowns. They got a big kickoff return, so now they're going from a short field, and some unfortunate events put us in a short field. And I think if we can mitigate those, like all elite defenses can be given a short field and just come up with the ball, come up with the snap, force a turnover, force a negative play, just something that can mitigate that situation. And if we want to be a very elite defense, those are situations we're going to have to thrive in. And so we'll get to that point. It's only week, heading into week 3, new coordinator, new defense, new coaching staff, like you said, a lot of these guys, I believe heading into Williamsfield, 9 of our 11 starters on defense have never played a varsity snap before. And so we'll get to that point, and we'll get there every day, 1% better every day. And I think we'll be a very elite unit at some point.
I agree. You look like it on Saturday.
Okay. So as we jump over to this week, and we prep for Tumwater, obviously, you're familiar with him. You played under Tumwater's head coach your freshman year and your sophomore year, if I have my research done correctly. I guess, your thoughts on, does that give you any insight into the game plan and the strategy? We know they run wing T, that we also know that they run it a little bit different than Gig Harbor.
First and foremost, I have a lot of love for Coach Garrow. Fun fact, he was actually it was either, I want to say 7th grade. It was either 7th or 8th grade. He was my history teacher. And then, he was my football coach my freshman year. I wouldn't say so. We had 3 teams when I was at Stillicum. And so my freshman year, we had a freshman staff, and they used to send us down to the baseball field. So we were never like I'm sure that a lot of these Eastlake guys can relate. Like I don't know. I was never really coached by him until we were up on the field, and that was kind of rare. So I'd say no. Totally different system. You go to Tumwater, you're running the wing tee. Like, it doesn't matter where you come from, what you do. You're going to adhere to the wing tee, and you're going to run the wing tee, and you're going to do what's been done there for, I don't know, 60 years. So I wouldn't say so. I played against Tumwater a lot. I played against them 3 times just between my junior and senior year. So I'm very familiar with what they want to do, the brand of football they want to play. Like, those guys are in a state championship game at like an 80% clip. Like, they're always in the big dance, and it's a hell of a program. Very familiar with it. So I would say yes and no. Just playing against them, yes, but the Coach Garrow thing, probably not. But a lot of love for Coach Garrow.
So I guess as we follow on to that, obviously they run the wing tee. They run it different than Gig Harbor. What did that do for you guys in your preparation this week? How did that change from last week to this week as you guys got ready for this game?
It's incredibly valuable. It helps a lot because now we're just kind of in that wing tee zone. We don't need to refresh guys. Like, if we played Gig Harbor week 2 and then don't play them, play another wing tee team for another few weeks, like, you have to refresh and go back over everything that you've been taught when it comes to the wing tee. And so I think it's really just allowing us to stay in the wing tee state of mind has helped a lot. Guys are understanding their jobs a little bit more, and if anything, we can just compound on it and keep building on what we already have. And I feel like we have a good foundation. Luckily, Coach Hurd's very, very familiar with the wing tee as well. So just mixing our game plans and being able to rely on him as a really good resource for the wing tee stuff is great. And I love our game plan, and I love what we want to do.
Do I have it right that he also played for Coach Garrow and coached with him?
I believe he played with Coach Garrow, yes. He ran a wing tee in high school, and then definitely did coach with Coach Garrow.
That's great. So I guess looking back a little bit, week 1, Williams Field, we were pretty thin on the line across the board, DN offense. Last week we had Fang back, we had Reed back, we had Painter back. It added some depth. And I think it definitely helped. We also lost some guys this week, right? I mean, I think I saw the post that Mason Flynn's out. I think Wheeler's going to probably be out this week. Henry last week talked to us a little bit about playing with a little more grit. I think we saw that in the game. How do you think Tumwater stacks up against our defensive line? And what do you think about Henry's statement about them playing with a little bit more grit last week?
It'll always be my mentality that I don't care if we're playing the Seahawks tomorrow night. Like, I choose us. I'll always choose us. I love what we're building, and I love what we have. I really like our odds going into the game tomorrow. I think if you can, it's kind of an old head take, I guess. I don't know. But if you can win at the line of scrimmage and you can have a healthy defensive line rotation, like, that's where everything boils down. And I really like our front. We have an 8-man rotation that we can really get after teams, and fully healthy. That's a very dangerous unit. And it's a very great thing to have on your team is not only a great front 4, but if you can substitute and rotate those guys and your play not drop off too much, if at all, that's hard for an O-line to have to go against 8 guys on any given Friday. And so guys have shown that they're bought into our defensive ideology. Like I said, relentless effort and violence is our motto. And so we're building it, and we're getting better every single day, 1% every day. If we can just get 1% better every day, we're going to be pretty stout. So having those guys back is huge, and we're just going to keep getting better and buying into that ideology every day.
Yeah. And I know you weren't here last year, and a lot of these guys on the call didn't play last year, but I know it's fresh in everybody's mind. I mean, Tumwater came to our house last year and played a really good game of football. They ended up on top. And we saw that, what's the mindset going into the rematch, from the guys this week?
This is a brand new Eastlake team. New coaches, new players, new scheme, a new standard. Like, it's different from top to bottom. And I think it's hard to last year doesn't exist to us. Last year should never exist, right? Like, we're here and now. We're worried about today. We're worried about tomorrow. Our mindset each week is to go 1-0, and I think that's the goal when we get on the bus Friday night. And like I said, I choose us every day.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Okay, I'm gonna give it back to Dave.
Yeah,
And
that's
Dave,
awesome. Now we'll
let
hear
me
from
know when
some of
you
the
want to see that.
players.
Let me know when you want to see that first clip, Dave.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, Coach Hutt, thanks for all that. That was awesome, and I love your energy and the belief you got in these players. We'll start out, Jack Devine, Adam Barrick, kind of hear from both of you guys. Um, special teams, like Coach said, kind of put you in a short field a couple times there, but how did it feel to set the tone early in the game with those first stops, Jack? Kind of what was your thought that those first couple series?
I thought it was great. I mean, it was much different from Williamsfield. I feel like we didn't come out as quick, and that punished us at the start. But we came out hot during this game, and definitely brought the energy for the rest of the game. And I wasn't even in most of those tackles. I was just on my guy. But bringing those, like Jack Steiner getting those 2 tackles, meant a lot at the start. It sets the tone, like you said, and it sets up for the rest of the game and the rest of the week.
Jack was fired up. That got me jacked up. That was awesome at the beginning of the game. Here's a clip Jeremy's going to play for us.
Yeah, this is that stop that you just talked about by Jack. 3rd and 1, 5th play of the game, I think is what it was. And, come in and just pound him in the backfield.
A lot of excitement there.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And Adam, for you, this was a big series, and it's fun watching you and Wheeler 26 and 28 in there next to each other. But how did it feel for you to get a big stop there that first drive?
I mean, yeah, it was great. That stop just kept fueling our offense or our defense to keep making big plays, and just kept our energy up, and just helped us play like with a bunch of fire and play with our heads on fire.
That's awesome. And I would note, I felt like your tackling as a team, it's very difficult sometimes to see who has the ball on these type of deceiving offenses. You tackled well for the most part, and that play right there was a great example. That's awesome.
Yeah, we did a great job at getting 11 hats to the ball pretty much every play.
Yeah, sitting up in the box, definitely. I mean, we're listening to the spotters just down from us, and over and over and over last week, you heard that was a pack of wolves. That was a pack of wolves. Like, I mean, they were having a hard time distinguishing who was making tackles and who were making the stops, because, like you said, 11 guys were rallying to the ball every play. So that was fun to watch for sure.
Yeah.
But let's jump over to Landon. So Landon, obviously first year playing football, super exciting to see out here. Love watching your style of play as it develops. I'm going to ask you a question about your buddy Miles. He's getting a lot of attention right now. Just got, the Washington State or WIAA Player of the Week, which is pretty awesome recognition for his performance on Saturday night. And it was pretty amazing. He had that 95-yard strip, essentially touchdown, right? I mean, they call it a fumble, but really it was a strip. And so why don't you, I mean, you were in on that play. There was 11 hats rallying to the ball. I'll run the clip here, and you can talk a little bit about it.
I think, Landon, you're on mute there, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, I think right before this play, we kind of got together as a defense, and we're like, hey, if we tackle this guy, if we wrap him up, like, let's punch at the ball here. Let's try and get a turnover. And I mean, you kind of see it on film right there. You're like, how the heck does he even pull that off? But I think the one thing about Miles that anyone on our team could attest to is if he's on the field, whether it's offense or defense, a big play is going to come. He just has that ability. It's just something that he always brings to the field. I mean, he just showcased it right there. It's a perfect example. Ripped the ball. I mean, I don't even think anyone else knew that he had the ball until he was at half field. And, that's just the type of player he is. He just brings that mentality and kind of swagger to our team. And I think really lifts us up. And so he's been a huge leader for us, and, great to see him get the recognition that he deserves.
Thanks,
That
Landon.
was awesome to see you celebrating in the end zone with them there. That had to have been a moment you'll remember your whole life, I think.
I wish I would have been able to play the audio because Dave's commentary on that was pretty amazing. Who has the ball?
You know what blew me away is they didn't blow the whistle with forward progress there, but I think the officials must have seen the ball pop out. And I talked to Miles and he said, I actually had it for a while and I realized I might as well run with it.
Yeah, I don't really know if anyone else on our defense but me realized he had the ball, but I saw him have the ball pretty early, and I was like, Miles, like, go score, and he just took off.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool. I'm glad we got to hear your perspective on that, Landon. That's good. Transition over to Barrett. Barrett, coach said you played a great game. You know, what did you focus on during practice last week and this week, kind of leading up to this game? Like, how did you prepare to transition from a deep pass cover and free safety to a box player like coach talked about?
I feel like coach was mainly talking about focusing on like discipline because of the wing T and like doing our jobs, because they can pull the ball out and they run it anywhere. And yeah, I feel like discipline was the main thing.
You did a great job. You had a lot of tackles and it just seemed like one after another. You looked like a wrestler out there getting double leg takedowns every few plays. You were a machine.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, jumping back over to Jack and Landon. So, obviously coming off of a big win, and getting ready for a tough game this week. How do we make sure that, or how are you guys making sure that the team is staying mentally sharp, when you're coming up against something similar but different, with the Tumwater wing T?
I think I know it's repetitive and like it's pretty much the same offense, but from experience, we played them last year. Tumwater plays it. I think that Tumwater runs it a lot better. They run it a lot faster. They get straight up from the line from the huddle in like 3 seconds and snap the ball. So if you don't know where your like job is or assignment immediately, then they're gonna run it down your throat. So you gotta make sure that you are just on top and focused and locked in the entire game, or they'll destroy you.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things that Coach Hutt, the whole staff has preached this week is to, not get complacent, right? Gig Harbor was a good team, but we think that Tumwater might be a step up from them. And Coach Hutt, specifically in the defense room, talks about discipline and doing your 111th, which means you're not trying to make a play that's not yours, because the way the wing T is set up, they look for people who are trying to make plays that aren't yours, and look for people who aren't disciplined, and that's where they really thrive. So we feel that as a defense, if we can have everybody bought into doing their 111th and being disciplined, that we'll find a lot of success.
That's great. Hey, before we jump to the next question, I do want to show another clip. I got a pretty amazing sack by Mr. Devine. So tell us what your thoughts are quick, Jack, on this play.
I don't know. I knew it was before the play happened. I knew it was going to be a pass, so I was just prepared for that because I know they had a long ways to go with not much time, and how the O-line was set up. I knew it was going to be a pass, so I was just ready to get after that, and it was really exciting after it. I mean, I was pumped up after it. It was a big stop, and it just got the whole team excited, and definitely gave some energy going into the second half, having a good end to the first half.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's super fun to watch on real time, on game day. Super excited for you. You had a couple last year, so it wasn't your first, but still always exciting. First of the season, right?
Yeah.
Great.
All right. Next question for Barrett and Adam. The energy on this team was fire on Saturday night. You could see the families, everybody greeting each other down by the track and the gate, leaving the field. But what was it like in the locker room after this win, and how do you carry that here into Friday night?
I feel like starting off in the locker room, we got the boombox and we're playing tunes, and it gets really hyped in there, especially with all of Estes' music. I love it.
What about you, Adam? Tell us about the locker room. What's it like to be back there?
I mean, yeah, it was great. Everyone was just dancing. Everyone was just like being loud, getting hype. Even everybody was definitely probably really sore and beat up from the game, but we were just really happy to win, and yeah, it was great.
That's awesome. Well, I'm imagining that in Tumwater's visitor locker room, it's going to be fire here Friday night, and it's going to be awesome to watch you guys take the field wearing white again. That's great.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. I'm gonna do around the horn. I'll call you by name, and what I would like to hear is, what you think the outcome for Friday night's gonna be. So let's start with Landon.
Yeah, I mean, I think for the outcome of the game, I think we all are confident that we can go into this game and win. And, I see that happening. I give a lot of credit to the coaching staff for preparing us. I think they've done a really good job of that. And I think, we've been mentally locked in this week. And I think it'd be really good to get a statement win here against a really tough and disciplined Tumwater squad and carry that momentum for the rest of our season. Looking ahead, we've got some big games on our schedule. And I think getting a statement win here would be really good to build momentum and give us confidence moving forward.
Again, if I think I've done my homework right, I think Coach Garro has only lost 2 games. He lost against Puyallup and he lost in the state championship game state championship game against Anacortes last year. So he's got a pretty good record. I agree. If we can go down there, that would be a big statement. Jack.
I believe if we just stay disciplined, stay locked in, just especially against this really tough wing tee, we can stop their offense. And then if our offense stays locked in and runs the right plays and makes a good effort blocks and stuff, we could put up a lot of points on the scoreboard.
Awesome. Adam.
Yeah, I mean, according to the rankings, we're the underdogs, but I don't think we feel that way. I mean, our coaching staff has done a great job to prepare us mentally. I think as long as everyone does their jobs, does their 111th, I think we're gonna be just fine. I think we're gonna get a good W.
Okay, Barrett.
Yeah, doing your 111th, doing your job, keeping our energy high. I feel like we got it.
Awesome. And last, Coach Hutton.
I think if we come out with the right mentality and start from the first snap with a lot of energy and just take it one play at a time. The problem with the wing tee is you get ahead of yourself and you're like, okay, well, if we get to stop here, then what's gonna happen? You can't do it. You have to have a mind of a goldfish, and you're playing 1 15-second snap, right? And if we can just do that and play each play for what it is, and just go down by down, everybody do their 111th and be disciplined, play relentless effort and violence. We're gonna have a good night tomorrow.
Love
Awesome.
it. We appreciate you guys. This is super fun.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Really appreciate it. You guys put in a ton of work that a lot of people don't see.
Look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow night. We'll be down there. Like always, we'll be setting up and bringing the broadcast to the world. So thank you guys for taking the time tonight, and go Wolves.
Well, strong pack,
Thank you.
strong go Wolves.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Boom. Thanks, Coach.
Did you stop the recording there, Jeremy?
Yeah, we're stopped.
It still says recording on my end, but